Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Feeling good today. My eye is slowly tidying up. I guess. My skin looks particularly good today as well. I look fresh today. I'm not quite sure how. Today is a rainy day. In fact, the whole week is going to be rainy. And personally, as somebody who's grown up and lived in the UK most of my life, you kind of have to have an affinity to it. You have to enjoy it because you've got no fucking choice, because most of the time it is raining. So as a kid, I kind of grew up with my variety of different computers, my Spectrums, my Commodores, Amstrad for a small amount of time, VIC-20s. I had all of them. I was obsessed with technology as a kid. I think a little less now today than I was, but as a kid I was so distracted by technology. It was like this liberating, like ahead of the curve. Like every other sport and thing was boring compared to computing, for me anyway. Like I took part in like badminton and cricket and long jump, and even went to after school stuff for like doing high jumps. But I don't know, after a while you just get bored of all of that stuff, you know. It's good for fitness, but I don't know, I was never into the competitive side of things because it brings out the worst in people, I've found. Rainy days, I've got a rainy week ahead of me, and I've got to be honest with you, rainy days, I have an affinity to them. I actually love every aspect about the rain, the cooling nature of it, how fresh the air is afterwards, raindrops on the window, the whole melancholy side of things to it, mulled wine, just like wrapped up, cheese and crackers, like that whole kind of snugglebug feel of rainy days. I freaking love rainy days, especially like either on the road or in a van or like on a ferry. Fucking love rainy, stormy ferry rides. Like, I don't know what that is, but I kind of dig that. Wanted to quickly talk today about the Thompson Cook thing. I know Ali Torrent has already covered it, and I'm not going to go into it in any detail, but I kind of wanted to throw my perspective on it in terms of the notion that we have got a long way to go in society when the majority of people will use a centralized service to have a holiday. I've always found that really weird. I've never used any kind of holiday service. I've always been the person to do my own research, to find out about the place, how to get there, maybe an Airbnb, you know, just I've always been wanting to not necessarily control all the aspects of it, but I wanted to enjoy the experience. I'm not a tourist. I think that's the thing. I'm not a tourist, and I don't think many tourists are, or I don't get the impression that they are, very creative people, because you just pay the money to a centralized service, they package up your holiday, and you go away and supposedly you enjoy the experience. You're paying for the experience of somebody else handling all that stuff. And I guess people treat the same way with social media, with their Facebook and everything. You know, Facebook can take care of it. They can take care of my privacy and safety and security and my what I put out there, you know, my shared cat videos. It's on them. They offered me a free service. They should do all of these things. Like, there's this unwritten contract. So I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad to see another out-of-date centralized service not get bailed out, because maybe it's just time for people to evolve and be a bit more creative about booking these things and being more of a citizen in society, rather than just going to a service, paying them a gob of money just to have all-inclusive so you can gorge yourself on bacon and eggs in the morning and fill a bag full up, wrapped in tissue paper, so that you've got a meal for the rest of the day, so you feel like you've dominated the free breakfast buffet. Don't worry, in the 70s and 80s I went on holidays with parents as well, where I was like, really, is this what we do? We just come here to gorge on food, and my dad gets drunk every night and ends up being pissed off about everything. Yeah, I was one of those 80s childs, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, like, if you trust in a centralized provider to provide you all the things, and then all of a sudden it kind of like shuts down and falls apart because they've been mismanaging their money and not paying their suppliers, then, you know, I don't feel, and then hope the system has insurances in place to bail you out. Well, Like, wake up. The system's been fucking broke for a very long time, globally, right? The money that they say they're putting into infrastructure just disappears into fucking all kinds of other shit. Could get animated about it. Which leads nicely into the Greta Thunberg stuff. Is that how you pronounce the second name? Probably got it wrong. She's definitely not a Thunberg. Thunberg, something like that. Anyway, I want to say I really feel for this girl, but the one thing that resonates for me about Greta more than anything is that I see a lot of my daughter's future in her. Maybe because she's near the same kind of age, you know, not far away from where she's at, and the fact that she's had that thought when she was at school, like, what am I learning all this shit for if there's no planet for me to actually live that life out? And it just shows the power of storytelling to me when a 16-year-old girl can impart a incredible speech with empathy and compassion about, you know, her not being able to see her future. Now, I know she's got, I think she's got Asperger's or something like that. Which, you know, any kind of, I kind of call it a disability, but I mean, she's riding it out. She's like, I mean, it's not a disability, but like, I can't find the words for it, but like, it's an added thing in your life that you got to deal with, right? And she just fucking rides straight through it. She lives at her true self. She has something that she wants to say about society. She sees it can be changed. You know, she's like, until she's blue in the face, I think she'll be saying stuff about the science and the data, which we do seem to just ignore, or is bought away or distracting. You know, the big corporations chuck money at this for it to disappear and go away because they've got all this money invested in infrastructure. And for some reason, they don't want to evolve and make the marketplace environment. I mean, for me, logically, as an adult, surely the evolution of this notion of growth and capitalism and more, why not apply that to environmental stuff? Why not have more solar panels or like more hydrogen, more electric cars? Like, I know we dig lithium and that's the next problem to deal with until we evolve the transportation again or the technology again. But I don't get it. I feel like we use the environment as an apathy crutch. Like, it's okay, it's fine, the planet will sort itself out. Well, yeah, the planet has sorted itself out since the beginning of time, but that's because we weren't here. So, like, I totally support, like, Greta's evolution, that she's woken up and she's, why go to school, why get education if she's not going to be able to eventually use that? And so she's out there climate protesting as an activist about putting a spotlight on this topic of, I want a green job. Give me a green job. Give me a job apart from going up on the fucking wind turbines. I'm not going all the way up on top of wind turbine. No way. But like, give me an environmental job. Solar panels installer. Sure, let me do that. Where are all these green jobs that they said they were going to have? I don't see them. So yeah, I was very impassioned by her statement and her speech, and I was also kind of disgusted at the people on Twitter who were like, you know, showing people how to block any mention of her, and people who were like calling her names and just ageism shit, you know. And it just makes me not want to be part of society when there's people like that out there. Disgusting, vile people out there. There's a 16-year-old kid, and you're talking to her like she's just like a, I don't know, trash, garbage. Kind of disgusting, the people that we live on planet Earth with, to be honest. And I understand that's probably why a lot of people want it to just burn and just, you know, fall apart, because they don't know how to get involved themselves, or they don't want to get involved themselves. They just want to be locked in their own mind thinking that they're in control of it while the planet around us burns to the ground. Humans, man, we're the worst virus that this planet has ever seen. All right, I'm going to try and get in focus. I've been in and out of focus, all of that. I do apologize. I was just so like into that. All right, rainy daytime. I've got parts of courses to record. Let's get into it.
Drifting